Welcome back to the channel. Here today to talk about Hot Chili Limited, a copper mining stock on the ASX, current market cap $103 million, and they've got $26 billion of copper in the ground, USD, and then they've got about $5 billion of gold in the ground, USD. Let's have a look at the projects and where they are in the world. So this is South America, this is Chile, and here's the projects here. Within a 20-kilometer radius of each other, we've got Cordillera, which is a larger one, and then Productura, which is about half the size, and this little small one here. I can't actually remember how big that one is, but it's insignificant compared to these other ones. It's a great metal. It's on our electrical cables around the house, some of our plumbing pipes, and the price today is about $6,984. So I've done my calculation at $6,500, so a bit generous on my behalf. And if we look up here, gold is at $1,917, and I've done my calculations at $1,900. So let's have a look at these calculations. So let's look at the total reserves from the two mines that they have. They're currently drilling, and this is how much they've discovered so far, and they could even discover more in the future. So Productura, the smaller of the two mines, copper, $7.8 billion USD, gold, $1.52 billion USD, Cordillera, the larger of the two, $18.85 billion USD, and $5.13 billion USD in gold. So the grand totals here, add those together, you get $33.3 billion. So let's look at this little chart here for copper supply and demand, million tons. It's showing a short supply in the amount, meaning the price is probably likely to go up. And this is a very good thing for hot chili. So notice today's, or the recent price per pound of copper, $3. So take that into consideration when we look at these next figures here. We're going to look at a rough figure of how much margin they're going to make on all this copper they've got. So I've had a look at this website, S&P Global Market Intelligence. You see here, Chile, biggest copper producer within 28% of global production. And hot chili is in Chile. So this here is the cost it takes them to get the copper out of the ground. It'll be case by case. Obviously, if you're a better low cost producer, you're going to be better than the rest. And open pit mining is going to be more cheaper than digging underground mines. Things like this you have to take in consideration. Here's some costs: labor, fuel, reagents. You have to react the copper ore to get the copper out, etc. Electricity, other costs, transport, royalty, so they'll have to pay out the Chilean government, corporate overhead, reclamation. List goes on. You can read through that yourself if you wish, turning the computer on its side. So if you remember, the other price there was $3 per pound for the copper. So the cost to get it out could be said to be $1.90. So that means the margin is approximately 30%. 30% margin will take 20% margin. We're happy with that. So 26 billion times 20% equals $5 billion. So after you've built the plant, bought out the company, you can have this land with $5 billion. After you've done everything, paid everything, you get $5 billion in cash. Then you minus the taxes, of course. So how much is that worth to you? So I'm going to say 500 million. So you buy out hot chili for 500 million, currently at market cap of 125 million. Let's get back to this picture. Sorry, my calculator. So 500 million. I spoke with a lady on the phone. To build the plant for both mines, 750 million. So we'll say $1 billion. Be on the safe side. So your total cost is $1.5 billion. You spend that money, and then you get $5 billion back, which is a 3x on your money over the mine life, which is about 20 years. Not to mention that they're going to be doing more drilling and recovering more resource. So say it is 1.25, so the closer and the better the figures to that 750 million to build the plant, And the betting margin, the better it is. But I'm going to say it's at least possibly a $500 million stock. BHP could come along and buy it out to make that money. And that's why I'm saying it's at least worth its current value of 125 million, if not more. So say double your money, 250 million plus the $1 billion to build the 750 to build the plant, so it's $1 billion. So you buy out the land, build the thing for $1 billion, and then after 20 years you get $5 billion back. That is 5 times your money. So that's why I think it's at least a double return from its current price, and if not more, especially if the copper price is to rise and if they're to find more resources. So obviously take all those figures with a grain of salt. They're not completely correct. Could be things I left out. Obviously they're just drilling the resource now, and then they're going to have to raise the money to build the plant and then start mining it to produce the money. Or someone like BHP, who has money in the back pocket, could come buy them out earlier, and that's good for anyone buying now, in my opinion. So BHP, if you remember, Hot Chili has about 4 million tons of copper. That's copper, not the body, the actual copper. So to compare that against these other ones, you'd have to get this billion tons, times it by the grade, to see how that compares to us. So obviously the higher the grade, the less mine reserves here they need, and also the cheaper it will be because they're mining less rock to get more copper. And obviously then you have the factors such as underground mining, which is probably more expensive than open pit mining. So I'll leave that at that, and we'll go through some exciting things happening with copper in the future. So this article, Copper, How Tesla's Biggest Ingredient Could Make You Rich in 2020. This guy might be buying Hot Chili copper as well. So anyway, there are roughly 180 pounds of copper in every electric vehicle. That's 45,000 tons just for Tesla each year. So if you didn't know, the world's going to electric vehicles from the internal combustion engine, and the motors inside them are made from copper, along with all the copper wiring, etc., etc. So this is the vehicle sales to grow dramatically. So you got 180 pounds of copper for every vehicle, and then you've got 1 million vehicles here. So do the maths on that if you wish. I think that's it for this article, and that's pretty much all I want to say. Just remember, copper's in housing, all electrical wires, copper pipes. If a plumbing pipe has to be in the sun, it can't really be plastic, so it'll have to be copper. And comment below what other uses are for copper. And remember, it's highly recyclable. So once you're done with it, it's a bit scrappy looking, take it to the scrapyard. You can actually get that money yourself, which is what I do as a plumber. And copper is just great. Not like gold, which has no real use. Copper has a real use that we really need. And I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.